Yes, tafadhali.
Gachagua faces arrest. Yeah. The story is on
like
page.
resting. He faces
arrest.
Kukamatwa.
Kamatwa, yes.
Kutiwa mbaroni.
Kutiwa mbaroni, that's the word. President Ruto's closest allies, Deputy President and Interior Cabinet Secretary, sustained messaging throughout the weekend that former DP Gachagua is not untouchable and that he will be arrested for alleged incitement as he stepped up his blistering attacks on the government. Here are some of the statements. Let that man continue making noise and inciting Kenyans. We will arrest him. The other day he told us that if he is impeached, there will be chaos. Was there chaos? That's according to CS for Interior Kipchumba Murkomen. DP Kindiki Kithuro, says any leader who is encouraging early electoral campaigns does not wish our country well. It is unpatriotic to put our country in a perpetual campaign mode, says the man on the campaign trail. Okay. Former DP Gachagua himself says you can't escape the blot of Gen Z killings and abductions. You can't condemn violence when your hands are dripping with the blood of Gen Zs. You cannot be speaking from both ends of your mouth. You would think that's a statement coming from a person who was not in the administration at the time when these killings were happening, but oh well.
He vehemently condemned the killings.
Did he now?
He vehemently. He issued a statement from Mombasa.
Right.
In which he said, no. No.
This is unjust. I know we have a bite from the DP speaking, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Let's listen into what he had to say over the weekend and to know if there's any jitters about his arrest.
Wabunge wetu, tafadhali. Msitumiwe na William Ruto kukosea sisi heshima kama jamii. Kama Ruto anapenda sisi, atuandikie watoto waende jeshi, waende polisi, waende wakuwe askari ya jela. Awapeleke kazi ng'ambo pahali anapeleka watu yake. Asitume nyinyi hapa na pesa ya kununulia vijana pombe na ya kudanganya akina mama. Mnatukosea sana. Kwa sababu hiyo ni kuwa na madharau kwa jamii nzima. Na hiyo empowerment hakuna pahali ingine inaendelea Kenya nzima, ni hapa tu Mlima Kenya. We are determined to make Ruto a one-term president constitutionally through the ballot.
Ruto anajua hana kura huku. Kura yako ikitolewa hapa ipeleke Mandera, utaweza kupiga kura Mandera? Hutaweza kusafiri. Kwa hivyo tuseme kwamba tumeanza kushuku kuna mipango ya kuiba kura kutoka maeneo haya ya mlimani.
Sisi kama Wakenya hatuwezi kuwa tunatoa pesa ambayo tunapeleka katika mambo ya kunufaisha viongozi na tumbo zao wenyewe.
So these are leaders from Murang'a. The second person who spoke after the deputy president, the former deputy president, was Nyuto, the senator from Murang'a. But we're just talking about the elections. But the bigger one is what Gachagua said on Friday night, was it? And when he gave that long, about 5-hour interview on Obina, and he spoke about the IEBC, the composition of the IEBC, the management of the next general election, and saying that should the IEBC bungle that election, then there is likelihood that, Kenya will erupt. She said there'll be no country here. And this caused a lot of jitters. And it's caused a lot of jitters everywhere. So there's what the national leadership is saying, the Deputy President and the Interior CS, and we have their bites, Philip? We could hear them later. But even when the PLP leader comes, we'll also ask her on her take on this. But what's your take on what Gachagua was saying? What's yours?
Oh, what's my take? I mean, if things continue the way they are, there is going to be a problem in 2027. It's just the truth. Remember when we were looking at the violence that broke out during the launch of Gachagua's party, and we talked about it here, and we said this is setting a very dangerous precedent. With regards to IEBC being compromised, etc., facts are stubborn things. And the fact is, if bodies like that are compromised, if this escalation of violence or this pattern of violence that we're seeing, then the fact is, it will set a dangerous precedent for 2027. I think it's a fact. Maybe the way it was said, maybe who said it, maybe how it was said, is what could be problematic. But you can't run away from the fact that it's going to be problematic. And that's why we're trying to rein in the Constitution and let it be followed to the law. As long as that is being circumvented, then we're just going to find ourselves in a problem. I don't know what you think.
You're right.
Mariam and Eric,
No, you're right. If we're treading on dangerous ground, But my only hope is that we don't allow the political class to weaponize us. I would love for us to push and continue to push for a proper 2027 election, one that is free, fair, transparent, all the things that we have said before, but not because politician A is on the ballot, Rigathi is on the ballot, Ruto is on the ballot, Raila is, no, not from that angle, just because we deserve that. I think it is possible because there has been a dissociation from the political class, and we need to continue dissociating such that if it is fighting, it's them entirely on their own, by them, like just them, trading jabs, but the rule of law continues to to reign, and then we keep everything in order, things are transparent and they're done properly. That's best case scenario.
I like that. Yes.
Best case scenario.
Yeah. We make it another boring election. Wasn't our last election? Remember?
Which
was
one?
it 2022? I'm trying to
That
remember.
was considered a boring
It was
one.
considered boring because
was
people
2013.
voted. It was 2013. Sorry. No, was it 2013?
Yeah.
People voted and went home.
2002.
People voted.
All
and went home.
elections, ladies, all our elections, we vote, we go home. We, citizens,
We do.
don't have a problem with the IEBC. I will keep repeating this, and I have evidence to show. Every election comes, we do not say we are not going to vote.
Yeah.
We turn up at the ballot. We go there, we see our classroom. You look on, there's a paper written there, check your name. It starts with what? L, go. You go, you vote, you go back home. You start watching. Problem comes when these people who are speaking now speak the way they are speaking.
Yeah.
That's my problem. My problem is when we start hearing them saying, you know what, if this IEBC bungles the election, what do you know? If you have something about it, just come out and say, this is what this IEBC is going to do that will bungle the election. Right? But, just planting that seed of, there could be violence, there will be this and the other. People are making fun and others are celebrating that the former DP has formed a party. There are those who are saying, all right, that's a good party, I'm going to join. There are those who watch him and they're like, I like this guy. There are those who are like, hey, this one, no. We move on. It's them. They're the ones who have a problem.
I agree.
And I think all of them should just shut up.
I agree. And we've tested the limits of our democracy quite, we have. We overturned an election, went to the ballot. We're still here. We can do much more. We can give a one term. We could change things. We could do all of that. I agree with Eric. We're not the problem.
And we could do it peacefully.
Very peacefully.
And follow the law.
Right.
Unlike Tanzania, we can challenge the result of our elections in court.
Yes.
Tundu Lissu is in custody today because he's trying to push for an amendment to the electoral laws so they can do the same. We are there.